Today's goal rush games, and there is confirmation that it is Wolves that are still rock bottom of the table, still in search of their first victory of the season. West Ham and Nottingham Forest completing that bottom three, although of course West Ham still yet to play. Burnley are 17th, and it's Fulham that have climbed up to 14th in the Premier League table. They've played 10 and they've got 11 points. Let's take you to the top half though, because it is indeed Arsenal that have extended their lead at the top. They are on 25 points, they're 7 points clear of Bournemouth. Of course, the other three in the top four still yet to play this game week. Man United had the opportunity to climb into second, but they're in fifth in the Premier League table, still unbeaten in 4 games, and Crystal Palace and Brighton have also moved up the Premier League table. Right, it's time for a break, after which we'll analyse and dissect in a moment's time. But before that, let's reflect on what we've seen during Goal Rush. So it was Forest against Man United. It was a draw in the end, probably a fair result. Let's hear from that man there on how the game played out for him, Morgan Gibbs-White.
Morgan, you were heading for all 3 points, but settling for a point, first point since September. Overall, can you be happy with that?
I mean, I think the only positive we can look at is the form that Man United have been on, and to get a point is obviously good, but the whole dressing room is frustrated not to get the 3 points. Conceded 2 silly corners. So yeah, it's frustrating. I don't think the first one's even a corner, to be honest. So yeah, it's frustrating, but we're back scoring now, and yeah, we take the point and we move on and we look at all the positives and take them into the next game.
When you say you're back scoring, let's just talk about the first corner, because it's a big talking point. It has been a big talking point of this game.
Yeah, definitely. We were 1-0 down coming into the half time, and we felt like we had the dominance of the first half, and it was just about getting that next chance and trying to take it. And Yatesy put in a lovely ball for me, and I just had to try and direct it into the far corner, and luckily enough I did that. And I feel like that gave the boys the edge then to then go and really believe that we can go on and win the game. And then literally within a minute we went and I think it's something that needs to be looked at, because it's happened twice to us now in 2 weeks. Last week against Bournemouth, it wasn't their corner, so it's something they need to look at, because it cost us two extra points today. So we'll see.
Well, let's take a look at what Morgan Gibbs-White was referring to there. Of course, the controversial corner from the opening half that gave Manchester United the 1-0 lead. What did you think?
To be fair, I mean, it makes a point. I mean, obviously United are attacking, they cross Savona with a great header, and because he's headed, he's trying to keep it in. And it looks like he does, especially from that angle. I mean, this one is slightly different, whether it's, in or out. It looks probably fractionally in, but I think the linesman on the other side is making a decision. He's probably about 90 yards away.
Too far.
So it's, it's really difficult to see, and VAR can't intervene. You see what Sean Dyche thinks of it, but why can't they just have it a bit like tennis? Where if, you got kind of sensors, but great header from Casemiro. He's so good in the box. Gibbs-White's marking him, and watch what he does. See you later. Just leaves him. A great header.
What a header.
Yeah, I think Forest can feel hard done by conceding that corner, whether it's justified or not. But they cannot feel hard done by their marking. And that's, their own fault, really. No one should get a free header inside.
It doesn't even jump.
It doesn't even jump, so very soft goal to give away.
Well, they were disappointed, as we just heard from Morgan Gibbs-White, but whatever Sean Dyche said to them at half-time clearly worked, because they came out of the blocks in the second half, and Morgan Gibbs-White got on the score sheet pretty much, 3 minutes into the second half?
To be fair, they dominated. Man United just sat off them. How about this for a pass from Elliot Anderson? I love that. Great switch of play. And to be fair, they really struggled to deal with crosses, I think, at this point, Manchester United. Such an easy, but Yates just pops it in. And it's a fantastic header from Gibbs-White, isn't it?
It's a great header, gets across his man in Ahmad, but if you look from this angle, the challenge that Ahmad puts in, I know he's not a natural defender, but surely you can do a little bit better than that defensively. A bit more. So, talked about United's goal being a free header and a soft goal to give away. I thought this was equally as soft if you look at the defensive side of it.
Well, it certainly set up an exciting second half, didn't it? Because then Forest didn't look back after that. And they scored, seconds later? This was Savona that put them ahead, 2-1.
Yeah, to be fair, they dominated at this point. Again, Manchester United don't really get any pressure on the ball. Igor does terrific, and to be fair, Sabona does fantastic. You know, he's the right back there. Watch, he just plays this ball in and runs inside in behind Cunha. And to be fair, Dalot just turns around, and I think once he turns around there, he has no idea where he is.
No, he doesn't know where the opposition player is, but he's looking at the ball, he's looking at the situation there. Look, he sees the ball drop, he needs to react quicker. He hesitates for half a second, and when you hesitate half a second, that's what happens.
That angle there, you see, it just stops for like half a second, but credit the defender, you know, he just kept running, and sometimes if you run in a straight line, it can come to you. But to be fair, what a strike this is from Ahmad.
How about that, Ida? What did you make of the strike from Ahmad?
Oh, well, I mean, lovely strike, and he half and more made up for, let's say, his weak defending in Forest's first goal. That strike is just as sweet as you like, on the volley. De Ligt, you know, puts himself in front of the goalkeeper. I don't think there's anything in it. I think VAR checked it to see if there was a
Possible handball there?
Probably that's the incident that VAR were checking. My initial thought was if De Ligt was in the eyesight of the goalkeeper.
They said it wasn't deliberate. And that's
Exactly. So I think a wonderful equaliser. Would have been a shame if that wouldn't have stood.
To be fair, I wonder if we could kind of look at that from the top again, because there's a point where Bruno says to Ahmad, like, you're a little bit out of position.
Yeah, he did.
And what you got to do, you got to listen to your boss. And to be fair, Ahmad, it's only fractions, but they must have worked this on the training ground, and it's so good. No, it's another angle.
It's just the bit where he was,
they're kind of, it's almost behind the goal.
Yes.
And he just tells him, look, you got to step up, you got to be on the edge of the box, and exactly where he tells him to stand is where the ball comes, and he finishes absolutely brilliantly.
OK, so will they be happy, though, with the draw in the end, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you want to win the game, but I think going 2-1 down, and I think the goal that they scored, I think, you know, a point away is not a bad result.
Okay.
Wouldn't have been happy with their performance, though, all in all.
No, I don't, especially second half.
Especially the run that Manchester United have been on, they should have done better.
Once they took the lead, they stopped playing, didn't they?
Yeah.
All right, well...
Some marks of the Sean Dyche Forest team.
Yeah, I thought it was a good. I mean, if you take the goals out of the game, I thought it was a good Nottingham Forest performance.
Yeah,
a lot of energy. You know, the things that we spoke about last season in the wide areas, excelling in the wide areas, that's given them their opportunities. High tempo, defensively. I think they're good. The two centre halves I like. I think they enjoy defending. So no, I think I saw enough that Sean would be happy with going, you know, taking this team forward.
You're both praising Man United's transfer policy during the summer, which hasn't always been praised very much over the last few years. So what about the big man Chesko up front? Hasn't quite happened for him yet.
Well, it feels a work in progress, if I'm being honest. I like Cunha and Mbeumo. We showed them before the game what they're bringing to the party, but I just want to see more of this man, you know, because there was other clubs. I mean, Newcastle's another club linked with him heavily in the summer. He said he wanted to go to Man United. But again, you know, in this system as well, and you want your number 9 to be strong. Watch his first touch here. Like, it's a heavy first touch. I think it's a really good ball. Softer touch there. He's clean through in a 1v1 situation. And again, you know, Brian's gone down the outside there. You want your number 9 to be in the middle of the 6-yard box. He's nowhere to be seen in that picture. That one again, you see Cunha's reaction. He's frustrated because if he just lays that off, Cunha has a shot at the edge of the box. And again, you know, look at this ball from Casemiro. I don't think that's a bad ball. But your number 9, your striker, your main man should be attacking. This is probably his best movement. His movement was really good. I think Gary mentioned a comment he could take that first time, but I think it was a hard chance to take first time. His movement was good there, but you need some more of him, especially away from home in the Premier League. He needs to do better.
No, I think the benefit from him from today, I mean, I was surprised also that he wasn't taken off, particularly with a coach that you know, doesn't worry about when he takes players off. He'll take defensive players off at times. So I was surprised that he played the full game. But I think that will be the benefit from him. I mean, this is a centre forward that they need to do well. So I think the more minutes that he can get, particularly at some difficult times, I think he'll grow. There's no doubt that technically he's a good player, but you know, Manchester United number 9 is a hard position to fill.
Yeah, I mean, Rasmus Højlund looked like he could do the job when he signed. He got drummed out of there. It hasn't been really. I don't know when the last top United centre forward was, but
maybe he'll benefit from. You know, I mean, we've had the owner come out saying that, you know, it's a long term, and so maybe he will benefit from that. That he'll get them opportunities.
How important is it just as a striker? We highlighted their wide players, their two wide attackers who are obviously playing well, in particular in Abumo's case, playing very well. But if your central striker isn't really doing it, does the whole thing potentially...
Well, it won't fall apart, because if we talked highly about Cunha and Mbeumo before the game, they're brilliant players, they really are. But just some of them clips we just shown us, his link-up play, sometimes he might not even be scoring a goal. If he lays that one off to Cunha scores, you think, that's brilliant player from Sesko. He gets the plaudits in that sense. It's just sometimes, I think when you're a striker, tidy up that sort of basic of holding it up, making good runs and just laying things off, keeping it simple, and the goals you would like to think will follow.
There's a bit of controversy, a fair bit, over the goal that Forest conceded in the first half. Chris, a similar thing happened against Bournemouth in that they gave away a corner that probably shouldn't have been a corner. Similar scenario?
No, I think we've both looked at this one, and if when you see a better angle, when you're looking at the curve of the ball, then for us, no, it shouldn't have been a corner. So it's incredibly difficult, I've always thought, for that opposite linesman to make that judgment call. So sometimes I think it's the referee that's in that position that has the better view, that can also make that call.
What do you think, Shay?
Yes, definitely shouldn't have been a corner. The circumference of the ball wasn't out. But again, Sean Dyche will look back at this with his staff and go, this is Casemiro. It's not like Harry Maguire, 6'4" centre half. This is not diminutive. At times he's run well, but a midfielder who's got a free header 6 yards out. It's poor defending after the decision was against him.
You can see Sean Dyche wasn't happy with that one. We'll see what he has to say after the match.
Sean, so close to 3 points here, first Premier League game in charge. How do you reflect on that? Because plenty of talking points, should we say?
Yeah, very thorough performance, I thought, from ourselves. First half with the ball, opened chances up when we could. A goal I'm sure you'll ask me about. And then second half, obviously, so nervy to get that next win, and we just went a little bit on the back foot, but not from a lack of effort or anything, but it's a psychology where you're just searching for that win, but still looked really dangerous on the break, and thought we'd see it through, and unfortunately a good strike from that, like gets them a point. But I know you're going to ask me about the first goal, so I'll let you ask and then we'll go into it.
Well, what I was going to say was conceding from 2 set pieces, which I know you won't be happy about. Inconclusive, though, to whether that first goal you conceded was a corner.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's not inconclusive. I've seen it back. My bugbear, and funnily enough, I was talking to the powers that be with the referees about the quadrant now. The quadrant, we all watch it. You can see the ball's outside the quadrant from 80 yards away, but they allow it because it's 1 millimetre with the ball hanging over the line. A bit like the goal line. Yeah. So apparently today the assistant referee can see 78 yards away. It's got to change. That's 2 in a week, two decisions that are not right and gone against in a week. Yes, of course, we've got to then deal with the situation, which we didn't do as well. But it is tough when there's a lot of noise about.
Pretty forceful stuff. What do you make of all that?
Well, one thing I would agree with what Sean said. I think if the linesman can't make that decision from whatever it is, 70 yards away, and I think on any doubt the referee's close, I think you've got to give the benefit to the defending team.
Mm-hmm. But why not have VAR have a quick look at it, as he suggests?
Well, yes, VAR can look at it, but then we're going into another area where VAR are going to take control. So then it's going to be corners, it's going to be throw-ins. What happens then if we're talking about
a goal that comes from a controversial throw-in?
We're also talking about the rise in most teams taking long throw-ins now. So throw-ins in this day and age and the way the game is now are almost as important as corners. So you're then taking VAR into corners, into throw-ins.
It might be a little bit much, all right, but I can see why it does.